Hello friends, hope you're well. Today we are unboxing the RTX GeForce 3080 from, well, EVGA, I suppose. The XC3. It's the cheapest of the actual lineup from the 3080s, and we are lucky to have it sponsored by a friend of ours. So we'll be unboxing it. Maybe we'll get to run a test or two. Do you reckon a test or two? Yeah, cool, sweet as. We'll run a test and compare it to the 3090 that I have sitting right here. So let's get unboxing and then we'll get to actually compare them. And to be honest, they look exactly the same. So we'll get to that in a moment. Let's zoom the camera in. What do we have on the back actually? Before we go on, key features, it's in English. And it says 2nd gen ray tracing. 3rd gen Tensor cores, PCI Express Gen 4, which is only available on AMD as we know. We've got PCI Express, there we got that, so DirectX 12 Unlimited, which doesn't really mean much because I tested the 3090 on DirectX 12 and it works pretty poorly actually. NVIDIA DLSS, which is special and kind of the reason you might want to get a NVIDIA card now that AMD has released some cards, the 6000 series, that will actually potentially be more, I wouldn't say powerful, maybe 5%, but just more affordable and maybe more available depending on the stock. So I heard a little story that a gentleman who was in front of the person who brought this one was actually buying a 1070. Is that right? 1070?
3070.
Oh, 3070, yeah. Sorry, a 3070 and this 3080. The difference was $100. And that's actually incredible because a 3080, as we've seen in the scores, is actually much better than the 3070. But why would you pay more for less? So this comes in a plastic box. It's way different than what the 3090 came in. If you want to watch that video, I'll have a link below. We've got a piece of paper that stretches out because, well, we're paying $1,000 instead of $3,000. And the card comes in a plastic box instead of what we would call like a cushy type thing. So here we go. But it's, you know what? It's almost the same size. There we go, it's out. And that's terrible. Why would you put that? Caution, static sensitive electronic assembly. Okay, there we have it. We have some plastic around it, so we're gonna peel that off. Oh, it's tough plastic, to be honest. It's not very good. I like the design of the fans. They've got little E's on them, little embedded E's. That looks kind of cool, but I don't know. Does it help with airflow? I doubt it very much. Oh God, this is tape. Look, bloody tape. Horrible. Okay, now I'm gonna continue doing it like this because I can't get it off. And we have it, 3-fan design. It looks like they will be spinning all the same way, I'm guessing. On top, we've got EVGA GeForce RTX 3080, 2 power pins, 8-pin both, and they're not that special one from NVIDIA, nothing like that. So you don't need an adapter, you will need 2. So you will need a fairly powerful PSU one that at least has 2. And on the back, whoa, no shroud. That's interesting. That's actually, yeah, okay, no shroud. So this is all exposed. We don't even have any cooling on any of these parts here. I have seen a 1080 Ti had a little bit of cooling on the back that would connect some of these chips to the actual back plate. So that's interesting that this doesn't have that. So your actual case airflow should probably be better to get this going. But as you can see here on the back, we've only got the power delivery here, and then there's just little holes for the fans to go through. And technically speaking, this could be a lot smaller. Maybe it's a little bit more spread out because it's not a reference card. So we've got a lot of stuff spread out, which is probably why this connection here is like that. Nonetheless, on the bottom, we can see some of the fin array and the copper. It's got a copper, what is it, heat sink in there, heat spreader. So that actually touches the chip, is actually copper. You can clearly see it is, which is really good. Then we've got some, obviously some fan connectors there, and there's 3 of them. So I don't know if there's any RGB on this. It's important. Is there any RGB on this? No RGB. Oh, we've got some plastic on the front here. Let's have a look what it comes with. It has 1 display port, 2 display port, 3 display port, and 1 HDMI. So 3 display ports, 1 HDMI, and that is it, my friends. EVGA GeForce XC3 PX1, I don't know what all this all means. And so now we're gonna compare the GeForce RTX 3080 to the 3090, the beast, the larger one, the more expensive one. It is certainly a little bit longer. I suppose, you know, that's expected. It also is a lot thicker. So as you can see here, this one takes about 2.5 slots, and this one's just 2. So make sure you've got enough space for whichever one you're buying. Both have 8 pins, 2 times 8 pins, which is interesting because this one's got a much higher power draw, but at least it doesn't need 3 like some of the other overclocked 3090. So this Zotac gaming one. I would also say there's a lot more wasted space on this one, a lot more gaps. I'm not sure if that's because they want airflow, but it also has obviously a back shroud, and it also has the pins here for SLI, but the SLI is something you will never want to use anymore. It is basically derelict, and nobody does it because the games have to support it. And there it is. Oh, look at this red accent on the bottom there of EVGA. That is fancy. And look at all those pipes, those heat pipes flowing through. Well, friends, thank you very much for watching and seeing this little comparison. We're gonna run some benchmarks, and we're gonna see how this one performs versus obviously this RTX Zotac. Expect this to perform, generally speaking, in the realm of 3080s. This is the cheapest 3080 you can get, and this is also the cheapest 3090 you can get, and that's why I wanted to compare the two. Friends, thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. There'll be a review of both cards coming soon and some results. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you all in another one. Bye!